Everything is pretty cool. And then COVID hit.
Penthouse Barbecue presents Beyond the Smoke.
So that pretty much brings us to 2020. We were on a pretty good roll. Things are going pretty well.
The building is up, it's functional, everything is
Yeah,
we're rolling.
building been up for
Yep,
almost 2 years.
yep.
Everything is pretty cool. And then COVID hit. That was a learning experience.
Mhm.
Honestly, I would go back to those prices today, as I'm
Oh,
sure
yeah,
most of our customers would.
for sure.
Our building was not set up for really for like drive through or
No,
pickup, anything like that. It was never a design thought, but
yeah,
we made it work. Yeah, we did have a window facing our little parking area,
yep,
and that's what we served out of through the pandemic.
yep. We had
Um,
everything, set up in a little assembly line, on the tables in the middle, and as people would
yeah,
come up, we kinda knew they ordered did we have them order ahead of time at
probably
that?
not.
I
It's
couldn't
not probably
remember.
not this.
But they would come up, they would say, "Yep, I need, 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 meals," and thankfully at that time, we had a couple people that would come when we needed them to help prep if that, if we needed it, and get everything prepped and ready to go, separate meal boxes. We were, of course, we were had to be masked up and gloves and all the things and all the extra things just to make sure, and everything was, of course, you know, pre-packed, separate sauce cups so that everything was clean. But pop it together and out the door it went. And thankfully, people responded. The community really did. They came out and supported us very well,
Yep,
and it was
I had several pickup
yeah,
nights that went very, very well,
yeah.
very well.
And it wasn't a banner year for anybody, but all the bills got paid,
Yep.
and to cushion the blow for some of those weddings that we had scheduled that year, there was a lot of
Mm.
weddings that didn't happen or happened at half or a third or less of the numbers that they had planned on having. W For the
Me,
ones that canceled, it was rough.
it was, and me being me, the ones that did still continue with the 50 guests or whatever it was at the time that they
Instead
could
of
have,
250.
that, that's a pretty big difference in food
Yep.
costs and prep, but it's also a pretty big difference in income too.
Mhm.
So really, as your guest list gets smaller, your price per person needs to go up to offset that. Well, I just couldn't bring myself to do it. It wasn't their
Yeah.
fault
Yeah.
that this
Wasn't
was
anybody's
going
fault.
on. Whatever their price per person was, that's what we left it at
Yeah.
for the 50 people. We lost money
Yep.
or broke even on everything we did for the
Yeah.
rest of 2020.
And for the ones that already paid, deposits, but their weddings never happened, or, we either gave them the option, some of them we did give a full refund, and we don't do that.
Most
But
caterers don't do
yeah,
that.
but it wasn't their fault. Again, it wasn't anybody's fault, and we couldn't see ourselves taking money from somebody in that way. It just didn't seem right. So, or we would allow them. We said, "Yep, we're gonna hold. Yes, we're hanging on to your money. If you still want to do an event with us in the future, even if it's something else, we're gonna take all that money and we're gonna put that and mark that as a deposit, as a down payment towards your next event, regardless of how long away it is, how far away it is." So I think that helped too, just to our keep our business in the back of people's minds and help keep them, familiar with us, and maybe hopefully give us a little better reputation. So I think that helped.